Hello, everyone. Welcome to From the Void podcast, a show all about Eternal and our experiences with the game. I'm Navillus, one of your hosts, and with me, as always, is my good friend and co-host, Bassoon. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm feeling mischievous. I'm feeling scheming today. Today is my beautiful wife's, Mrs. Buffoon's birthday.
Oh.
So we have many celebrations and plans over the next 2 days, and I'm gonna have to be sneaky and mischievous about when I find time to play the new expansion. So I probably won't be able to play through until like the wee hours of the morning after she has fallen asleep. But I'm very excited to spend the next 2 days with my beautiful, smart, great wife.
Well, at least unlike Arena, you can play it on your phone. Okay, let's go on. We have a guest. We have a guest with us who joined us last minute because Miss Jinx who was supposed to be our guest. She has the flu, so
I wasn't about to put her immune system on blast like that, Navillus. I was just gonna say that TheRocke was our first choice. He was our only choice, and I love him more than anybody else in the whole world. But now you're coming out here on our podcast making TheRocke sound like sloppy seconds.
No, we had TheRocke scheduled sometime, but we wish Miss Jinx a speedy recovery, and we're glad to have TheRocke on because we bumped his schedule up and he was available. So thank you, sir.
Welcome. Glad to be on here. So I enjoy listening to the podcast, and I get to see it live.
Now you're
how's it feel? The curtains pulled back. You're seeing all the spidery inner workings of our laboratory. How's the operation look from the inside?
Underwhelming.
Oh,
All these fancy stuff, and now it just looks like there's two guys.
It's starting to sound like all my ex-girlfriends.
We won't go down that road on this podcast.
All right, let's get this show on the road.
Yeah.
Navillus. Yeah. I'm gonna flip the script on you.
Oh no.
How was your week?
Oh man. Well, since getting back in the States here, it's been okay. It's been okay. I've been playing some Eternal, waiting for the new campaign because it's kind of like things are kind of stale right now. I'm waiting for new cards. When I'm just kind of waiting. So just been doing quest and just if something catches my fancy, I play it. That type of thing. So
I've actually accidentally been camping top 100 all week because I've been logging in and playing my one game for my pack and then leaving. So I've just been playing Yetis in top 100 like an idiot and accidentally being top 100.
Oh man. I was pushing top 100, then I left for a little trip, and then now I'm like the decay has set in. So anyway, but hey, it's okay. It's all good. Next month, right? So,
yeah, there's always next month. Rocke, how have you been? How was your week?
It's been good. Been playing just a little bit every now and then. So playing the Huru deck from Knife Bloon and Almost. So Jumar is a soft spot in my heart.
You are an Alessi sudden bursts of damage enthusiast from my experience with you. So.
Yes. So we'll see if that can come back with the campaign.
Yeah, good luck. God bless you for even hoping.
Oh man, we don't even know what. Never mind. All right, let's go on. So let's go right to our news. Bassoon, you want to take it off for the first couple news items we have? You probably know more about it than I do, so I'm gonna let you talk about the ECL Invitational.
Yeah. So this weekend, a tournament months in the making is happening. The ECL Invitational, organized by our guest TheRocke, is happening. So this is the culmination of many weeks of tournaments. This is a 16-person invitational, right, Rocke?
Correct.
So some of the notable players playing include GHP, Kang Breath, my good friend and lover Sullivan Soup, Croge. Wait, isn't Croge on the Great Parliament?
Yes.
I disagree with him being allowed to compete. And Dr. Pringles. I think it's a bad if especially if he wins cash. I think it's a bad look to win the tournament that your team puts on. But that's just a personal thing. Like if SPG put on a tournament, I would probably not enter.
Interesting.
But anyways, so somebody beat Croge in this tournament, so I don't have to have that conflict of interest.
Well, Dr. Pringles is on the team too.
Oh, is he? I did not know that.
Yeah, and Romanova.
Okay, I did not know a Romanova was involved.
Yes.
Yeah, okay,
They're
so...
most likely, but yeah.
So this whole tournament is just a Ponzi scheme to funnel money back into the Great Parliament. Good to know. Glad we're advertising this this scam on our podcast. No, actually, I'm excited to watch it. All the players are very good. Fresh meta, first tournament in a fresh meta. When do you have deck lists due, Rocke?
Just the morning of, so we prefer to get them in 10 to 15 minutes early, so before the tournament starts.
10 minutes early, huh? All right.
We don't have to, well, the website makes it so we don't have to export deck lists and stuff. It's all in-house, and so it checks legality as well and everything, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's exciting. This will be the first high-level content featuring the new cards, assuming the new cards are getting released by Sunday.
Well,
no salt here
today, but we'll see.
Second thing I wanted to talk about is the Opal Waystone Classic, sponsored by the Great Parliament and Shiftstoned.
And Eternal Warcry.
And Eternal Warcry. Everybody's got a finger in this pie, huh? So this is going to... Oh, also, you can watch both of these tournaments at twitch.tv/thegreatparliament. The Opal Waystone Classic is interesting because it will be comprised of all 4 or 5 faction decks. So you go to eternaltournaments.com if you want to enter this tournament on April 7th and register a deck. It must have 4 or 5 factions in it. And I believe that the checker for legality will adhere to the 10 card minimum from at each faction, right?
For this, it's actually going to be a little different. It's going to be just 8 cards per faction.
Oh, okay.
So we're working on verifying the coding with Kalari to make sure the website checks that for you as well.
Cool. Okay. So even if in game, if you have less than 10 cards of a faction, the faction symbol is kind of translucent.
Right.
But so for the purposes of this tournament, your deck may be legal even if it has that translucent icon. That tournament will be commentated by me and the lovely former guest of this show and good friend Grimfan. Mm-hmm. And it has a $300 prize pool. I'm not sure about the breakdown of payouts there. I'm sure it's not one person winning $300 and everybody else getting nothing. So
no, there is a change to that, actually, just slight. So that's the guaranteed prize. Where I know some people have expressed interest in donating, and we did set up a free donation place for people as well. So $300 is guaranteed, and hopefully it'll grow from there. So.
Oh, rad. Cool. Okay, cool. So viewers can contribute to that, but that will, if you just want to watch the Jank Fest, you can go to twitch.tv/thegreatparliament. If you would like to participate, I know Papa Capricorn has posted some initial brews in 4 and 5 factions just to get the juices flowing. And you can register for this tournament at eternaltournaments.com.
And Team Rankstar is actually going to put out an article next week at some point for some brews, I think, too, and talk about the format.
Cool. Red.
You're right. Yeah. Cool. All right, let's move on to. We had a tournament this past weekend. We had the ETS 2019 Community Championship. Just congrats to, I believe, Eric 9099 took it down. So he took it down with the Genève deck. So congrats to that player. So and then of course just going down the line, we had some more Winchester, Haunted Highway, more Genève, Maul. We had a couple Huru combo decks, so that was kind of cool. And of course Tony G with Felon Control rounding out the top 8. So not too bad of a top 8, just the same decks, but a little diverse. So that was kind of nice to see. And Huru sneaking in 2 of the decks. So any thoughts on that?
Another win for TGP. So we won the Invitational. I won the Community Champs.
Guys are taking down tournaments. That's all good. And so, but yeah, so I those are hopefully those decks will be irrelevant because of new cards. So I'm hoping. But anyway, new campaign is supposed to be today, right? Is that believe? Maybe, possibly.
That's what they tweeted. We have not seen it drop yet.
Okay, because I have that news. But we're gonna come back to that. So let's talk about you, Rocke. Tell us about yourself. How long have you been playing card games? What brought you or got you into Eternal? And what do you do for content? Do you stream? Do you write articles? Tell us all about that.
So yeah, I've been playing card games I think since 2002 or 3 maybe. So I know I've played Magic the Gathering for roughly half my life now. So, and I've been playing Eternal for about 2 years now to the day, and I started late in March as well. So I just kind of heard it from a friend who also plays Magic that had been playing as just a digital card game. This was before Magic Arena was released, and Hearthstone had kind of gotten a little bit too much for my taste for how the game plays. So
I played a game of Hearthstone last week that my opponent played 6 consecutive cards that had the word random in the text. It was absurd. I was just like, oh, I know why I uninstalled this game.
Did you win the coin flips?
I lost the coin flips, but I did win the game just because I was playing a garbage aggro deck, which is why I reinstalled. Yeah, which is why I reinstalled Hearthstone in the first place, because I was so desperate to play a game where aggro was viable.
Yeah, I admit I was playing Hearthstone this week too, playing aggro rogue. Anyway, this is an Eternal podcast though. Anyway,
so yeah, for content and stuff, I used to stream a bunch, but it's gotten a little much now that I've picked up being the main ECL admin, and I'm the one doing the production, sometimes TO, sometimes caster, sometimes all 3 at once.
You are the ultimate handyman in the Great Parliament machine.
But so that's a little bit. We'll see if I can try to get back streaming. We'll see how the new campaign does. So since I know a lot of people feel like the meta kind of hasn't changed a lot, although we have seen a couple new decks show up lately with Knife Bloom's Huru deck and Shimmer Pack winning the ECQ. So
I actually did not get to watch that ECQ. How the hell did Shimmer Pack win that tournament? What?
Well, Berserk Shimmer Pack is pretty good.
I guess in a world where aggro doesn't exist, Shimmer Pack can exist. I
think a lot of it's just the units were positioned well. Like Amar and Stinger has picked up a lot lately, so.
Yeah,
I know. I heard that Noverb, who got second, just drew nothing but bricks in the grand finals of that tournament.
I believe one of the games was rough, but I know, like we said, like there was 60% of that meta was FJS or FTP. So I know you guys have talked about on the last podcast as well. Won't go too much into that, but yeah, I mean, I will try to see if pick up streaming a little bit. Work schedule's tough, and just managing the ECL, not wanting to be burnt out of the game. So
yeah, it's a fine balance. You don't want to get burnt out. I've been there. It's not fun. But yeah, so all right, this is kind of like feels like an ESPN highlight show, you know. But we're gonna go right into our topics for today. I kind of put up for one of the topics like what's up with Direwolf Digital, and I don't want to bash them or anything because I do love their game. I do think they make when the content does come out, I think it's good. And but what are some things that as players we want from Direwolf, like for Eternal? Do you have any suggestions if you could that we could reach out to Direwolf and talk to them, being like, because I know a lot has been going on with the devs and everything. They're involved with the Magic the Gathering arena and stuff like that, and they have a new campaign that's supposed to be dropping today. In communication, I guess number one would be communication, right? I would like a little bit more communication. That's for me. Just kind of give us like a little bit more of a solid release dates on some things instead of like, you know, oh yeah, sometime today, you know, like or.
Yeah, if it's delayed, like throw a tweet out or something. This is the latest any content has ever dropped in my experience. Like the latest in the day. Am I wrong?
No, it's usually by
early in the morning.
because
Yeah, like
usually
noon or 1 at the latest Eastern.
Yeah, we usually record around 11. I think last time it dropped like around 11:30, 11:45. So right when we got off, we could like update it and get the new set and everything. So
Yeah.
and I just feel like I don't know, with the communication and everything, it's just like, okay, you do say in March we're releasing, that's cool, but then you don't say anything about it until like the day of, basically. It's like, okay, it's almost the end of March here, and then it's like a tweet like, oh yeah, it's gonna be dropping today or soon or whatever, and it's just like, what?
Well, and just like, even with the announcement of the set, like, there were like weeks and weeks and weeks of like nothing, and then like into coming this March, we are on the second to last weekday of March. like there's no teasers. We have to go on like our wild speculative, like from past experience, like stuff to make sure, like just to keep this like this train moving. Like Reddit data mongers like do more to keep the hype up for this game than the people who make this game.
Yeah, we didn't see a card release until just before the ECQ. Is that right? With the bear.
Same week, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I mean, it's supposed to be what, 26 new cards? Is it supposed to be that we're getting?
Yeah, of which we've seen 14.
26.
Okay. And so, see, that's another problem. Okay, we've seen 14. I don't think I've seen all 14, and just because how they're releasing. I was be honest, because part of it, I was busy last week. I wasn't really paying attention to social media a lot and everything, but I just like wish there was like an easier way to see all of that or something. You know what I mean? Just kind of like I kind of liked how Hearthstone did it with some of their release schedule, where they're saying, hey, these content creators, here's a release schedule for cards like that are going to be revealed. And they give you like, okay, on this day, this person's revealing, this day, this person's revealing, this day, this team is revealing this, and so you can look forward to it. And it was kind of like anticipation. I kind of like that. And this is like, all of a sudden it's just like, boom, it's here. And you're like, oh, there's a card today. Or if you don't pay attention, you totally missed it. And
it's really, really strange that for me to see all the spoilers, I have to turn notifications on for the spoilers channel in our Discord. In the main like Eternal Discord.
Yeah, it's been almost like a silent release type thing, just not.
I'm hearing from Twitch chat that video is frozen. By the way,
video is frozen. Okay,
the audio is fine, but the video is so it makes it. It's probably like a.
It's probably a Twitch thing because on here is fine. But anyway,
did you minimize Discord?
Camera, so.
Boo!
I did not minimize Discord. Okay.
So yeah, I didn't realize Hearthstone put out schedules for them, but yeah, I think there would like to be more notice. Even just telling like a content creator or whoever gets a spoiler, like, hey, we want you to set this up on this date, but don't maybe give them the card yet, because that can be like a breach of legality stuff. But just say, hey, you're gonna have a spoiler this day, and so they can even hype it with like tweets and social media.
Mm-hmm.
Even like I said this on the last like podcast we did 2 weeks ago, like even just before the like announcement of the campaign and the bear, just a tweet with a picture of like a snow-topped hill that says like coming this March. That's all. Get us excited.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you just want some kind of teaser.
I just want it to look like they care. Like I want it to look like they have an interest in engaging me, a consumer of their product.
I see. I got that sentiment too from the spoilers from the ECQ. I know Navillus maybe didn't see all of them, but some of them were either like lower powered or just like very flavorful go and niche decks. The only card we saw that was like just in your face raw stats was the Rogue Priest, the Keratin legendary.
Yeah.
They spoiled 3 cards that day. Come back to this podcast, clip me and embarrass me if I'm wrong. 0% of the cards they announced during the ECQ will see play in a tier 1 top competitive deck.
I mean that's a high bar, I think so, but
is it?
Well, at least from all the tier lists that I've seen, our tier 1s are FTP and FJS, which these cards don't necessarily go into, which I think is good. And I don't know if we'll see a new deck that rivals those in power, but I think we'll see some players. So like I do think the glass hopper actually is a powerful effect if you can get it consistently.
Okay, so my biggest critique of the company that makes my favorite video game is that the people who make this video game are much more excited about a different game than the one I'm excited about. So it's I don't want to name any names. I'm not trying to put anyone on blast. But sometimes I just look at the Twitter threads of the people who make this video game and think like, well, shit, why am I not playing Magic? It seems like a much more exciting game to them than the video game that I'm paying them to play.
That's fair. Yeah, we don't see much from them really for tweets or anything. I think everything that I know of comes straight from the Eternal Twitter of any news, nothing from devs.
And I know it's a complicated issue because you don't want the game, like, I think it builds a false community if you've got like an MTG pro who like you want the scene and the content creation and the the competitive deck builders and blah 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 to grow organically from the game, right? So you don't want like Brian Kibler to just kind of immediate day one show up and be a monolith of like eternal content creation, right? But at the same time, like man, like
there's ways they can better stimulate the growth.
Yeah, I would hope so. I hope so. One day maybe.
Yeah, I think this is the only game or company I know where like the owner is the main person we get information from, right? Because Scarletch is like the owner or some high corporate person.
Yeah, I think he's actually the CEO of the company. I don't really know.
Right, and I think it's odd that that's where we get a lot of our information from versus...
I don't know what happened. Remember like a year ago, there was a guy on Twitter, I don't even remember his name. I still follow him on Twitter, but I'm not trying to put any individual on blast here. There was a person who tweeted, I am very excited to be the new community manager for the Eternal digital card game. Super pumped. And I remember thinking, like, that's so sick that I hired somebody like that so I don't have to scour Reddit for tidbits anymore. And then that person never tweeted about Eternal again, and I don't know what happened. I'm so confused and scared.
He just got locked away in the box with Della.
Yeah, they almost got there. They almost did it, and then let down again.
Yeah, there is one thing I actually do think I like from Direwolf versus Magic, and is that when new sets and stuff come out, we don't get all of the cards up front. Like, we actually have to go into the game and like kind of explore, and I think that's a nice thing to have for like finding. Because I don't like having, oh, here's all 200 cards or whatever before the set drops. I like being able to see a little bit as you go, but they could definitely improve the quality and the flavor of the previews that they have.
I actually really like that there are day of surprises as well. I don't know if that's by design or by necessity because they have no one working their social media. But I actually do, and I like with the when this campaign finally drops. If I don't have time to play it, I'm actually going to like specifically avoid Discord and Reddit and Twitter because I don't want the new cards. I want to discover the new cards on my own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like Zindel being hidden was super cool in the campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, I do like, especially in campaigns, I like the cards being, because you're like playing the story. Also, it's like boom. You discover a new character or a new part of the story, and it's a card. You're like, whoa, what does this do? Because I do like that for the campaigns, and I'm not hitting them for that because there's only 26 cards. If you reveal half of them and keep the other half, hidden for the I'm totally fine with that. It's just pump it up for me,
Right, like maybe a lot of them are just hidden in part of the lore of the gameplay of the campaign, which is kind of unfortunate for us as building hype, but more important for them for the story and stuff.
Yeah. I know, so it'd be cool, like, they could release, like, text of a card, but with no stats. You could do things like that, kind of like, you have to wait till the campaign to find out everything about this card, or something like, there's so many ways you could do that, being like, okay, there's no name, you just, like, see, or just see, like, the art for it, like, what does this card do? Stuff like that, I think it'd be really cool. We've
seen that before. I know we've talked about Magic a lot on a non-Magic podcast, but they did that for
Hey, we're not the only ones that do that.
the biggest card in their game, though. Actually, I guess was Jace the Mind Sculptor, and it was cut into I think 4 or 5 pieces, and they were spread out across the world. And so, like, the communities put the card together for all the text before it dropped.
There's not enough player base for Eternal to do something like that.
Sure, but that's what Navillus means, like getting us like a piece of a card or something, like revealing cards slowly over time of what they do.
Yeah, just stuff like that. So when you're like playing, you're like, oh, this is what this card does, and you're, and it's, I know. I like to be excited about it. I like the game. I want to just make me excited, because right now I'm just kind of like, all right, I just let it come out, please,
Yeah. Yeah, as much as we all like to yell at the game, it is still a lot of fun and why we keep coming back. So.
Don't get me wrong. Once the campaign drops, I'm gonna jump into it. I'm gonna have fun and everything. But I just wish there was like, just a bigger draw for other people too and everything. And so, but anyway, because like I said, I know like me and Bassoon. I know some other friends who are avid Eternal players. They've been either playing a little bit more Arena or playing a little bit more Hearthstone, just because they're like, well, we're just kind of waiting and we don't really know what's going on right now. So it's just kind of, Yeah.
Can I go on another small? It's unrelated to this tangent, but we're in the gripes portion of the podcast.
Yes. Go for it.
I am like kind of tired of like what the state of the game right now. Like I'm a little over it. Whatever.
Yeah.
But I, rather than whine about it, on my stream the other day, I said like I'm just gonna play the Commander event, like the EDH event, for the entirety of my stream. Just Singleton. Singleton was like your special hero. I spent the entirety of my stream losing to constructed FJS hands in this event. I don't know how it happened. But
you were playing Bart Chalice.
I actually got 4 wins on that run. Most of the time I spent on like a Legion mid range that I actually thought was a pretty good deck, but I don't know how to beat Merchant on 3, Vara on 4, like Harsh Rule on 5, Display on 6, hands in Singleton. How does this happen? Like Fire Justice Shadow cards that are legal to play are just the best deck in every format, and it's exhausting. I'm tired of it. It's turning me into a scrub. Like, I used to think people who like talked like this were being super scrubby, but I'm just tired. I'm tired. Rocke and Navillus.
I think it's actually a design issue for the game, and mainly it becomes down to, since they want everything to be best of one, you kind of just want lots of good stuff cards and decks, rather like a lot of synergy or combo, like focus decks.
Yeah. Because
you just want to be able to play, like, have people play games during, like, while they're playing Eternal. Whereas if you have, like if the clear combo was a huge deck, like, how often would you feel like you actually got to play a game if you faced that 5 or 6 times out of your day? I think that's also why we've seen the decrease in aggressive decks is they want people to be able to play their cards and like get to do things.
But there's only like 2 good things to do at that point.
Right, that's the problem. Is like it's been insulated into certain cards and like specifically certain factions. So.
Yeah. So if that's the game, if that's the kind of game the people who make this game want it to be, then like, I don't know. It's not diverse and it's not super interesting. Part of the problem is that there's such a long time between major content releases, right?
Yeah, that's for sure.
But I try to have sympathy for that because it's it's just a smaller company, right? Like we make a lot of jokes about like small indie company, but this is actually not a huge corporation that's like making this video game.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you've got to consider like maybe this game is just not designed for high level competitive grinding. Like maybe my time is being misplaced in trying to grind this game to be a high level player.
That's possible. Well, I'm looking forward to see what they do after their World Championships and if they continue doing more events and stuff. So, but yeah, the content I think should be more, even if it's smaller sets, just have them come out more frequently. I think that would be a perfect trade-off.
It's a big problem that they split up. I've heard it's a thing that Magic does with their set release, their cycles of cards. They they did it with crests. They're doing it with 3 faction displays. They're doing it with smugglers. They divide it up into different sets, right? The problem is that these are 6-month waiting rooms for the second half, like for the sequel of these cards. These aren't movies. I don't mind waiting a year for the It sequel, but like I can't wait 6 months of my life for just half of the game to be unlocked to me. Felon is unplayable right now. JPS is like a decent faction. The cards in JPS have tools to combat FJS, but it's unplayable right now because you don't have display and you don't have smugglers. It's just bad. You are limiting yourself and you are playing a suboptimal strategy, even if you can tune that faction to beat the best deck in the format.
Yeah, I think I don't think you can fit all of those cards though in one set. Like, because there was the 5 tri-factions, so you want to put 5 more in the same set. Like, I think you just don't have much room for other cards, really, traditionally. Because that's 5 more mechanics you have to put in the set, too, and have them be supported for things like sealed and limited. Well, it's hard to fit that many cards.
Well, then the other solution is just faster cycles, right? I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the ideal, but I know a lot of people hate that the cycles aren't all in the same set. But I think there's just not enough room for things, so...
Yep.
And to have everything feel like completed and whole.
So yeah, I'm at the end of the day, I'm just an online complainer. But I only have problems and I'm not offering solutions, but no one's paying me to have solutions either. But
that's the hard part to figure out.
And no one's paying me to have these solutions. So somebody that's actually making money to think about these things can come up with the solutions. But this is a definite problem. It's not a I don't think this specific complaint is unfounded. I think this is an actual issue for the long-term health of the game.
Yeah, it's not just old man yelling at clouds.
I do plenty of that, but this is not one of those times.
Yes, but there's issues, and hopefully Direwolf knows about them, and will hopefully down the road we'll fix these things. So they've taken steps before, but they, like I said, they don't tell us about them. And they'll just like, oh yeah, by the way, we did this, and it's like, oh sweet, we've been wanting this, but
right. Like Chapin was in the Discord yesterday, I think, answering random questions about stuff. So
yeah, he was talking about end return sequences and other things, but I skimmed it over and I'm like, okay, this has nothing to do with you telling us so
I thought they were interesting things that could be said.
Yeah.
I don't again, do a Reddit AMA. I don't understand why I have to scour Reddit and just be ever vigilant for a little nugget that somebody who makes the stem is gonna deign to drop on us. Just give us an every 3 months, I don't know, a state of the game Reddit AMA. Reddit AMAs are perfect because it's not real. You're not committing to an audio interview where if you misspeak, then you're being legally accountable for those things, right? You can run past every answer on this Reddit AMA to your boss or to from legal, and it's fine. I don't understand why I have to turn notifications on for P Chapin on Discord to learn things about my video
it should
game.
be a lot easier just to find information, even if we don't even though we don't get very much information. Having to find tiny nuggets tedious and just not easy. So I agree.
And the player base is so horny for this stuff. that like the screenshot Reddit posts were just farming karma yesterday, just straight farming the Eternal community for upvotes because like we were all so pumped that somebody said anything.
Yeah.
Oh wow. But hey, hopefully everything will be a little bit better because there'll be awesome cards in this campaign, and it'll shake things up, and hopefully they get on the schedule with release stuff and other things. So I do think they know we talk about this. It's just now do something about it.
Yeah. I guarantee you that this is not the first time that somebody from this company, if somebody from the company hears the things that I'm saying, this is not the first time they've heard any of the things I said. Mm-hmm. The problem is that I'm starting to think they don't care. Like they don't care about these valid critiques of the game. So like, just like why? You know, sometimes in my dealings with this company, a great helplessness befalls me, and I just think like why?
Yeah. Like you said, like we just don't know what like their vision for the game is either, or where they want it to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Anyway, let's
enjoy Homecoming.
Yes. Exactly. All right, Rocke.
This felt like nihilist Arby's Twitter. Like after all of that, just enjoy a roast beef sandwich from Arby's.
Yes. Oh man, Rocke, where can they find you on Twitch, Twitter, Discord, etc.? Tell us.
We're done. We're just skipping everything else.
We're done now. We're done.
That's fair. All right.
Go somewhere else if you want card reviews. You know what you think about the cards. Most of them suck.
I thought you liked Pony Bat.
Yeah, save us, Pony Bat. Save us. Save aggro.
I did see someone name the horse Little Sebastian in someone's tweet.
Yes.
That's very good.
That's great. All right, Rocke. Where can I find you on Twitter?
Twitter, I am TheRocke's Cookin'.
Nice.
Best name on Twitter. Don't at me.
But if you wanted to add him, it would be at TheRocke's Cookin'.
Yes, and then you can find me pretty much Twitch and Discord. I'm just _Rocke and all of those. So same with Reddit and stuff. So if anyone wants to get in contact with me about just what I'm doing with Eternal, or if they want to know more about the ECL tournaments and stuff. So we will actually have an announcement coming up pretty soon for our Season 2, which is going to kick off next week.
Sweet.
Next week? That's immediate.
It is.
Welcome to April.
We added an extra week into our week off in our first season because of the community champs and the ECQ. So,
hey, give us a little bit of a teaser. Have you made some of the formats better?
Yeah, I make all the decisions. So, no, we do. We actually are going to go back to doing just normal Eternal, no bans, no card restrictions, except for the 4-faction, the Opal Waystone event will have this restriction.
Is that for ECL points?
It is. It actually will be ECL points. And first place will also get an invitation to our Season 2 Invitational.
Oh, man. I'm leaving a lot of money on the table by doing commentary for this event.
But yeah, everything else is going to be normal events, so we're going to hopefully that'll help people come out to the games and tournaments more. We'll be changing the prize distribution for the points and as well as some money prizes. So for invitational and other events. Finally, I found sponsors, so we might have some actual consistent money. Be prepared for lots of shilling
during
tournament
baby.
streams.
Nice.
Good.
Very nice.
Make that.
All right.
Cashola.
All right, Bassoon, where can they find you?
You know where to find me. Human Venipede on Twitter, twitch.tv/BassoonBuffoon. Probably the next time I'm streaming is going to be Sunday. I'll try to be less of a bummer next time you see me on the internet.
We love you, BB.
It's so sad now.
And so you can find me at WhatTheDeckHS on Twitter. If you need to ask me if Bassoon is surviving, I'll try to reach out. But anyway, everyone have a good time listening to this. It was a fun episode. I enjoyed it. We voiced concerns, but they were heartfelt. They were heartfelt. So, all right, we'll catch you all next week from the void. Later, everyone.